Let's first quickly get you up to speed with the latest political news which is brewing in the national capital that concerns everything to do with the state of Maharashtra. BJP Mahayuti huddle to pick the Maharashtra Chief Minister. It's going to take place in the national capital. Mahayuti Netas to meet Home Minister Amit Shah. Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar already in the capital right before the key meet. Eknath Shinde en route. He took a flight at about 7:30 p.m., would be landing any time now and will make his way to Amit Shah's residence. This time making his way as a caretaker chief minister. We don't quite know what will happen after the meeting because every indication viewers suggests a comeback of Devendra Fadnavis as the chief minister of Maharashtra. Word also coming in right now, Eknath Shinde, though there has been precedent and not very far. One only has to look at Devendra Fadnavis, who when was chief minister but took the post of deputy CM. But in this case, sources seem to suggest close to Eknath Shinde, he's not very keen to take the deputy CM's post. So what will it be? Because one thing is clear, Eknath Shinde made it quite evident yesterday that he's going to be no roadblock when it comes to picking the leader of the government in Maharashtra for the Mahayuti and will abide exactly with what the Prime Minister and the Home Minister state. Let's quickly cut across to our two reporters. Piyush Mishra joins us outside Amit Shah's residence in the national capital. Ritvik Balikar giving us the overall view on how things develop back in Maharashtra. But Piyush, coming to you first, you have Ajit Pawar, who's been in the national capital. He's been very vocal. Devendra Fadnavis as the next chief minister of Maharashtra, a better working relationship that he has with him than Eknath Shinde, who he's worked under in the last government. On the other hand, Devendra Fadnavis has been there since yesterday. Eknath Shinde en route. What to expect? What's going on behind the scene where the Bharatiya Janata Party is concerned?
Well, Preeti, there is no doubt that they will be meeting at Home Minister Amit Shah's residence, and it is likely to continue till late in the night because meeting has not begun yet. Eknath Shinde has not even landed in Delhi, and before Eknath Shinde, it was Devendra Fadnavis who landed in Delhi, and soon after landing in Delhi, he went to the residence of Bhupendra Yadav. Bhupendra Yadav, Union Minister, has played a very crucial role as far as BJP's performance in the state of Maharashtra. He was BJP's election in charge. So there was a one-to-one meeting which took place between Devendra Yadav and Devendra Fadnavis and Bhupendra Yadav. After this meeting, Devendra Fadnavis has gone to the residence of Sunil Tatkare, NCP Maharashtra president, and there at the residence of Sunil Tatkare, Ajit Pawar is present. So as we are speaking, there's a one-to-one discussion going on between Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. Okay. After that, we can expect all these leaders to reach here at the residence of Home Minister Amit Shah.
All right.
This meeting is likely to begin only after 9:45 p.m. because the moment Shinde lands in Delhi, he will directly head to Home Minister Amit Shah's residence, and then we can expect.
Okay, right now a closed-door meeting between Devendra Fadnavis and Ajit Pawar. One thing has been very clear, which has been made by Ajit Pawar, that he would want, or the NCP, which is the third alliance partner of the Mahayuti, would want Devendra Fadnavis to lead the Mahayuti. On the other hand, Eknath Shinde, many thought, could dig in his heels like Uddhav Thackeray did in 2019, but made it very clear yesterday that he's going to be no roadblock in government formation where Maharashtra is concerned and will abide by the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, practically surrendering, clearing the decks for, like we pointed out, all indications suggesting Devendra Fadnavis to make a comeback as Chief Minister Maharashtra. But viewers, in midst of all of this, one needs to also take a keen look at what will be the terms of engagement this time. The power sharing, how different will it be? Word coming in, Ritvik Balikar, that Eknath Shinde not keen to be Deputy Chief Minister after being CM, even though he has enough precedence. Devendra Fadnavis himself, and he himself will be, if he decides to take the Deputy CM's chair, the 5th Chief Minister of Maharashtra to settle for Deputy CM. What are you picking up from the Eknath Shinde camp? Doesn't want to be Deputy CM, but would want important ministries like Home, which was with Devendra Fadnavis last time. Urban development.
Absolutely, because since when Shiv Sena BJP was in government since 2014, urban development department was held by Eknath Shinde, and he is the longest serving minister in the state to handle this department. And it was only the department which fueled him with a lot of resources to get backing of most of the MLAs from Shiv Sena. So definitely, urban department is one of the department is eyeing for, and secondly, he is also pressing for MSRDC department, which is responsible for constructing Samruddhi highway in Maharashtra, which was also a dream project of Devendra Fadnavis. What sources are telling us from Shiv Sena Shinde faction is that they are also will be insisting for home portfolio, which BJP led government never ever leaves, and generally chief minister only holds home department in the state. So it will be Devendra Fadnavis versus Eknath Shinde, maybe on the home department as well. So we really need to see that he was. Yes, Preeti.
All right, okay, all right. Ritvik, thank you for joining us. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments right now. What we've been given to understand, Eknath Shinde would be landing at about 8:30. 9:45 is when the meeting will begin at Amit Shah's residence in the national capital. Right now, been given to understand a closed-door meeting is taking place between Ajit Pawar of the NCP faction along with Devendra Fadnavis. Ajit Pawar publicly has made it known that it should be the BJP and Devendra Fadnavis that should lead the government this time where the Mahayuti is concerned. And trust us to get you the latest where it comes down to what will be the power sharing, what will be the new rules of engagement where the allies are concerned, where the Mahayuti comes into question. With that, I want to quickly shift focus to the other news break that is filtering in, and it's important in perspective of the debate that we are going to hold tonight, where Ajmer Dargah now finds itself in a Mandir Masjid dispute. News break coming in on the Sambhal Mosque Committee. Viewers, the Sambhal Mosque Committee has moved the Supreme Court seeking a stay on the survey at the Sambhal Mosque, of course, which resulted in riots in Uttar Pradesh, Sambhal. The committee says undue haste to hold survey. The AIMPL urges the Supreme Court intervention on the survey. They want a stay on the survey at the earliest. I want to connect right now to my colleague Anisha Mathur, who's joining us live. Anisha, what more can you add to this news break, especially if you put it in perspective, though it wasn't a written order, but an oral observation made by Justice Chandrachud when the same issue in Gyanvapi was raised with the top court, and at that time he had stated finding the nature of the religious place not barred under 1991, the places of worship law.
Well, Preeti, clearly that has now come back to the Supreme Court, that very issue, because this petition that has been filed now says that there seems to be a pattern emerging of multiple petitions being filed to reclaim the masjids as mandirs in India. Now, this petition that has been filed says three things. One, that the city civil judge in Sambhal should not have passed an order for a survey without first having heard either the masjid committee or at least the state, neither of which was done. On the 19th, with the petition that came before the civil judge by the Hindu petitioners, immediately while notice was issued to the government and to the masjid committee, no hearing was conducted, but on the 19th itself, an advocate commissioner was appointed, and on the same date, a survey was conducted, and the second survey, which happened on the 24th morning, is what led to the violence that we've seen in Sambhal. Secondly, what it says is that this kind of petitions that are coming in has become a pattern. This is what they're saying. They're saying this, that petitions are being filed to reclaim what has been existing for more than 200 to 300 to 400 years. This particular monument that is currently under question is an ASI protected monument since the 1900s, in fact since 1904, and has been a mosque since the times of Babur. Now, of course, what the Hindu petitioners have said is that Babur was responsible, or at least one of his generals was responsible for demolishing a temple at that time and then creating this masjid. What the Muslim side is saying, that is something that is barred under the 1991 Places of Worship Act. And that, Preeti, is where this entire debate is going to have to hinge in, because it is a larger issue now. What the committee is now asking the Supreme Court to do is pass stay orders, not just on the Sambhal matter, but to say that such automatic surveys should not be allowed to happen till the civil courts in all of these cases give time to the other side, which is the Muslim side, which is the Masjid committees, the Muslim Personal Law Board and others, to actually respond.
Anisha, very quickly, so basically also this petition will hold that the lower courts don't actually rule on surveys. So they are asking the lower courts, or the plea suggests that the lower courts should be forbidden from ruling in favor of such surveys. Number one, is the Supreme Court taking up the petition tomorrow?
Yes, the petition will be heard before the bench headed by Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna and Justice Sanjay Kumar tomorrow morning. We'll have to see how that plays out. Now remember, Preeti, just to clarify one thing, this petition is saying that the Supreme Court should bar civil courts from passing orders of surveys without having heard the other side, which basically means don't let any surveys happen unless you hear our side as well. Such ex parte orders where the court has passed orders without hearing anybody else except for the petitioners is against the law. That is what the committee is saying. Secondly, what the committee is saying, there was such hot haste in filing, in allowing this survey to happen, which has given rise to questions of bias in the eyes of the people who are there, which is what led to the protest on the 19th and on the 24th, and that protest is what led to the violence and loss of life. So this petition is also saying that this undue haste, that this undue haste is creating communal tensions in the country. Third thing, as I said, that this petition is saying is that the Supreme Court's intervention, and this is also interesting because they've come directly to the Supreme Court instead of going to the High Court, which is usually the step, that this is happening because this is a pattern emerging in multiple cases. And as you just mentioned, Ajmer Dargah is an issue we're looking at. We're looking at the Sambhal issue. We're looking at Kashi Vishwanath. We're looking at several other matters, including the Mehroli issue in Delhi. And this is something that has happened over the last 3 years after the Ayodhya verdict, which incidentally has also been cited in the petition filed by the Masjid Committee, which says that the Supreme Court in its Ayodhya verdict, while allowing
All right. Anisha, they're giving us the latest coming in on that, and all of that gains perspective in what we're going to discuss this evening, because it was Sambhal Mosque till yesterday. Before that was Gyanwapi, and today the Ajmer Dargah finds itself smack in the middle of controversy. Where is it a masjid or a mandir? Why so? Let's take you through. A Rajasthan court issued notices to the centre and the ASI and the Ajmer Dargah committee over a petition claiming a Shiva temple lies beneath the Ajmer Sharif Dargah. The Dargah committee has condemned the claim. They've also now, like we pointed out, approached, of course, not the Ajmer Sharif, but the Sambhal committee has approached the court. While the AIMIM and other opposition leaders labelled it as a targeted attack on Muslims, this comes in midst of tension in Sambhal, Uttar Pradesh, following a mosque survey that led to deadly clashes. Here's the full story.
Ajmer Dargah added to a long list of Mandir Masjid disputes. A civil court on Wednesday issued notices to the Union Ministry of Minority Affairs, the Archaeological Survey of India and the Ajmer Dargah Committee to reply to a petition seeking a survey of the Dargah. In the petition, Hindu Sena chief Vishnu Gupta claims that the Shiva temple lies beneath the mausoleum of the 13th century Sufi saint Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti. Please seeks permission to worship and calls for the Dargah to be declared a Mahadev temple.
माननीय अदालत हमारी बात से संतुष्ट हुई और अदालत ने 4 बजे शाम को ऑर्डर के लिए रखा था। हमने ऑर्डर पता किया है, ऑर्डर हमारे पक्ष में आया, हमारी याचिका स्वीकार की गई है। सभी जो पक्ष हैं उनको नोटिस किया गया है। जिन पक्षों को नोटिस किया गया है, एक अल्पसंख्यक मंत्रालय, आर्कियोलॉजी सर्वे और दरगाह कमेटी अजमेर, इन तीनों पक्षों को नोटिस कोर्ट द्वारा जारी हो जाएंगे, ऑर्डर कर दिए हैं।
The Dargah committee rejected the claim and warned that the lawsuit harms communal harmony.
देखिए, मैं 2 बार उनसे मुझे मिलने का अवसर मिला है, प्रधानमंत्री साहब से। उनकी खुद की गहरी आस्था ख्वाजा गरीब नवाज के अंदर है, ये खुद उन्होंने कहा है। हमारे मुल्क में अशांति तो वही फैलाने का काम कर सकता है जिसको इस देश से प्यार नहीं हो, या जो हमारे देश की खुशहाली तरक्की से जलता हो, और वो केवल देश के दुश्मन चाहते हैं।
The opposition labelled the petition a targeted attack, while the centre dismissed the charge.
आज तक कांग्रेस की सरकार केवल तुष्टीकरण करते रही। तुष्टीकरण के कारण ही अगर ये 47 में ही आक्रांतों द्वारा मंदिरों पर मस्जिद बनाने का जो उनका एक मुहिम चला था उसको समाप्त कर दिया गया होता नेहरू के द्वारा, तो आज हमें कोर्ट में अर्जी देने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती।
ये हो क्या रहा है कि आप 800 साल के बाद कह रहे हैं कि वो दरगाह नहीं है? क्या मैसेज दे रहे हैं हम भारत का पूरे विश्व में? एक मजाक बनाकर रख दिया आप। प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट को लोअर कोर्ट क्यों नहीं सुन रहा है, प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप एक्ट को क्यों नहीं मान रहा है? तो इससे तो आप तो देश को एक सोशल प्रॉब्लम्स क्रिएट करेंगे, और ये ठीक नहीं है देश के लिए।
The petition for survey of Ajmer Dargah comes just days after violent clashes broke out during a court-order survey of the Shahi Jama Masjid in Sambhal, Uttar Pradesh. At the core of these cases lies the interpretation of the Places of Worship Act 1991, which maintains status quo as on August 15, 1947. But after the Supreme Court allowed a survey of the Gyanvapi Masjid in Varanasi, similar petitions have been filed in Mathura, Bhotshala, Sambhal and now in Ajmer. The Ajmer court has scheduled the next hearing on December 20th. With Sharat Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.
So what is it, viewers? Faith versus fiction, righting a historical wrong versus creating communal disharmony. Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Shriraj Nair, VHP spokesperson, Pradeep Bhandari, BJP spokesperson, Swarnim Chaturvedi, Congress spokesperson, Sumit Chandar, advocate, Supreme Court. Sumit Chandar, to begin with you on this, the fact is, the morality of it, whether it's creating communal disharmony, Ayodhya, Mathura, Kashi, Gyanvapi, then, Mehroli, Sambhal, and now you have Ajmer Dargah. All of that aside, Sumit Chandra, the fact is the lacuna or the loophole actually comes in the Places of Worship Act. Because if you look at it, at one end, be the Ayodhya judgment, it makes it very clear that the act cannot be looked in retrogression, number one. Number two, that it is only purview to what the Ayodhya judgment says. It cannot impact any other monument, and it ends there. But when in Gyanvapi, the survey, when the committee wanted to stop the survey, they went to the Supreme Court. Sumit Chandra, the Supreme Court made it very clear, because at that point of time, it's not a written order, but an oral observation. And in that, you had Justice Chandrachud state that finding the nature of the religious place not barred under the 1991 law.
True. See, it's very clear. I think Justice Chandrachud made it very clear. You can do surveys, nothing bars a survey to determine as to what kind of an inquiry can take place. In fact, the law provides for appointment of a local commissioner wherever the court needs the support of a local commissioner, and only to ascertain, it had clarified there, that only to ascertain that what is the nature of the place of worship, or what was it as on 15th August 1947. So, but even if after the survey it is found that whatever the nature is, even if it is different,
you can't change it. So you can conduct surveys, is what you're saying, Sumit Chandra, but you can't
change the nature of it.
So we'll give you the ammunition, but you can't use it. But you can conduct the surveys.
That is where the act comes into play. So I think we are all restricted by that. But yes, doing the survey is a matter of right, and the court can appoint local commissioners to take care of that. That is not the problem.
Swarnim Chaturvedi, stemming from what Mr. Chandar says, that even what has been quoted ad nauseum by the opposition, including your party, is the Places of Worship Act. Now, the interpretation of the Places of Worship Act, we are not talking about the moral interpretation of it. Very clearly seems to suggest that you can hold surveys. You can't change the character of the religious place, but then you can hold surveys, and to which, the right will say that we have the right to know what is, where Ajmer Dargah is concerned, Was there a temple there? We have a right to know. Was there a temple where Mathura is? We have a right to know. Was there a temple underneath Gyanvapi?
Yeah, actually, what the petitioner claims is, as far as I know, I have read the petition. The petitioner has filed a lawsuit in a civil court in Ajmer. Uh, his claims are based on a book, unsubstantial facts that has been written in the book, and he filed a petition on the basis of the substantial facts written in the book. But the court has issued only summons in a routine procedure just to file the reply to the claim petition. Right now, there is nothing like that has been claimed that court has court has issued someone for the uh, court commissioner or something like that. No, only to file the reply. And the Dargah committee, what they have said that they are going to be a part of the litigation. They will file a application to be a party to the suit. So after that, only we can say, because we have full faith in a judicial system, and in Rajasthan, we have never heard such a claim in since my birth. We have nenever heard, even while we reside in Rajasthan, because this dargah is 850
Okay.
years old. It was built in 1236, and Ajmer Dargah Sharif is a center of faith for the people of all the religions. It is perfect example of
Okay.
Ganga culture. So people of all religion express their
But Pradeep
faith and
Bhandari,
respect
right.
by visiting the
Okay, but Pradeep
Dargah.
Bhandari, the Prime Minister as well did send a chadar where Ajmer Sharif is concerned. And let me come to the other point of it. The ideological foundation of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and I think you'd agree with me, is the RSS. Now, to quote what Mohan Bhagwat ji said, the RSS chief, right after the Ayodhya verdict, allow me that, no need to search for shivling under every mosque. We had special devotion towards only some places, and we will continue to speak about only these places. But we shouldn't bring out a new matter daily. Why should we escalate dispute? We cannot change history. Neither today's Hindus nor today's Muslims created it. It happened at that time. We need to let history rest. Let's listen in to Mohan Bhagwat ji, and I'll bring you in, Pradeep, right after that.
ज्ञानवापी के बारे में हमारी कुछ श्रद्धाएं हैं, परंपरा से चलती आई, हम कर रहे, ठीक है, परंतु हर मस्जिद में शिवलिंग क्यों देखना? अरे भाई, वो भी एक पूजा है, ठीक है, बाहर से आई है, लेकिन जिन्होंने अपनाई है वो मुसलमान, वो बाहर से संबंध नहीं रखते, ये उनको भी समझना चाहिए। यद्यपि पूजा उनकी उधर की है, उसमें वो रहना चाहते तो अच्छी बात है, हमारे यहां किसी पूजा का विरोध नहीं, परंतु पूजा वहां की होने के बाद भी वंशज वो हमारे प्राचीन सनातन काल से चलते आए ऋषि मुनि राजा क्षत्रियों के पूर्वज है।
Now, in view of all of that, Pradeep, at one end you have the Prime Minister who sends a chadar to Ajmer Dargah, Prime Minister Modi. You heard very clearly, Mohan Bhagwat ji of the RSS made it very clear, do not look for a shivling under every mosque. We can elucidate that, we just did. So therefore, Pradeep, you had first Ayodhya, then Kashi, Mathura, Sambhal, Mehroli, now Ajmer Dargah. Why should it not be a charge that this only is disrupting communal harmony in this country? Prime example, what happened in Sambhal, where lives were lost.
Well, Preeti, this is neither about BJP, RSS, Hindu, Muslim. This is about the constitutional right of any individual, which is a fundamental right as per L. Chandrakumar, 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court, to approach a civil court. Right to approach a court is a constitutional right in this country. If Waqf can claim ownership on a 1400-year-old temple, I believe an individual following the Constitution of India can definitely approach a civil court. Point number one. Now, we cannot question the wisdom of the court, the civil judge who said that a service should be ordered. Now, what he's done, is it illegal? Absolutely not. Please read Rohit Agrawal's 2023 to 2022-23 judgment of the Allahabad High Court, which is in front of me, which says that Places of Worship Act does not prevent an individual to ascertain the religious characteristic of a place. You also stated the oral observation of Justice Chandrachud, which again reiterated that The Places of Worship Act does not ascertain or prevent religious characterization of a place. We are not the Congress party which will interfere in judicial proceedings. This is purely a judicial matter, and I think we should consider that. Unfortunately, the Indian opposition, which looks at consolidating the Muslim vote, is trying to make it a Hindu-Muslim issue. And allow me, you mentioned Sambhal, and the larger charge was, I think Uttar Pradesh gave a very important verdict, Preeti, and I'll give you a small instance. In Kundarki, which is a Muslim majority place, there are 436 booths, out of which 230 booths are Muslim majority booths. Majority of the booths voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party. So even the Muslims know it's not us which do Hindu-Muslim, it's the likes of AIMIM. And just to end my part, Preeti, if Asaduddin Owaisi has the constitutional freedom of expression to say that more than 1 lakh properties of Waqf are not registered, and he can claim that, I do believe a common man on the ground has a right to go to the civil court and ask for a religious characteristic of a place. It's not about Hindu-Muslim, it's about invaders versus nationalists.
But no, Pradeep, fair legal point, but you speak of, the constituency that you speak of, which is Muslim-dominated, also do add that there were only, because we're talking numbers, they do add that there were 11 Muslim candidates on that same ticket.
Fine,
collectively,
but
collectively
Preeti,
the 12 against BJP polled 5 times the number that the BJP
Preeti,
polled.
But
Just for the basis.
Preeti, but the fact is, sorry.
No, true.
There are 230 Muslim majority booths. We
Fact
know the majority
is,
of
fact
them.
is BJP. Fact is BJP won that constituency fair and square.
Yes,
but just as a side note,
including Muslim majority.
But as a side note, always nice to give
that
a
is
facet
your perspective.
on how the electoral win was engineered. Okay, but that is not the debate in any case.
Absolutely.
Shoaib Jamai, AIMIM leader, you're with us. There's a fair point that Pradeep Bhandari also makes, which we brought in earlier on during the course of this bulletin, Shoaib Jamai, and that stemmed from the fact, leave alone the morality of it, which we are going to debate, leave alone whether it does fuel communal disharmony, which it does. We've seen prime example of that in Sambhal, but from a pure legal purview, the lacuna, the loophole lies in the Places of Worship Act, which even after the Ayodhya judgment, which says that the Ayodhya judgment will not bear on any other judgment from here on, it cannot be laid as precedence. When in Gyanvapi, the Supreme Court was reached out to with a petition to stop the survey in Gyanvapi, Shoaib Jamai, the Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud at that point of time had made it very clear that you cannot stop surveys, where he said finding the nature of the religious place is not barred under the Places of Worship law. So surveys are allowed.
Yes, of course. See, during the Ayodhya judgment, we have already said that you opened this Pandora box and the situation get worsened. When Chandrachud Sahab has said that you cannot stop the survey to know the religious nature, then what is the need of Places of Worship Act? If you open the Pandora box, the situation get worsen and worsen, and the communal harmony will be disrupted in all over India. If you want to rectify the history, just let me tell you a fact. After the fall of Mauryan regime, there were thousands of Buddhist stupas has been destroyed by the Hindu Raja, and the temple were erected on those ruins. Now there are lakhs of Dalit who follow the Buddhist dharma. If those Dalit who are Bodh, they want to reclaim their Bodh stupas who were destroyed in Sanchi, Patna, Kaushambi and Mathura, then how many petitions are you expecting? Then then the court will say, no, we have to follow the 1990 Places of Worship Act with the spirit and word. Then why not in this case of the Muslim shrines? Why you want to allow this? So the Prime Minister of India should take a firm stand. The Supreme Court of India, Honorable Supreme Court of Judges should take a firm stand and have to state it. We should follow this Places of Worship Act in the words and spirit. No if and but.
Okay.
Why you want to open this
but
Pandora
Jamai,
box?
That's the problem.
Would you rectify the
Allow
history
me
in case of
Mr. Jamai.
Britishers' occupation?
No, sir. The sentiment and the emotion aside.
Would you rectify that history?
Sir. The sentiment aside and the emotion aside, if you look at the Places of Worship law, the lacuna or the loophole actually lies in the Places of Worship law, which was made evident during Gyanvapi, where the Supreme Court did allow a survey. So even if you're following the Places of Worship Act, the issue lies with the Act. It doesn't bar a survey.
Actually, that's why our party has demanded to further strengthen these places of worship act. And BJP is trying to weaken this act. You know, Supreme Court has asked to file a say, answer to the Supreme Court. What is the view of the central government? It's been 2 years and central government, the Modi government hasn't filed any kind of answer to what they wanted with this when there is a petition against these places of worship. So your motive is actually to
I want to bring in
this
Sriraj
act
Nair. I'll
further
come to you,
and
Pradeep
more
Bhandari. Give me a minute.
dilute
Allow me to
so
bring in
that
Sriraj
Pandora
Nair,
box will-
VHP spokesperson, into this debate. Sriraj Nair, after Ayodhya, it began with Ayodhya abhi jhanki hai, Kashi Mathura baki hai. पर अब लग रहा है काशी मथुरा भी नहीं, सब कुछ बाकी है. Every mosque, every dargah is baki.
See, you quoted about Ayodhya, the Hindus who are the indigenous people of this country. We all know how Islam came in this country. We had to seek justice from the Honorable Supreme Court. Hindus had to wait for nearly 500 years to ensure that the Ram temple comes in existence, which was demolished by Babur. Now, when the negotiations were going on between Muslim parties and Hindus for the Ram temple dispute, Swami Satyamitranand ji pleaded in front of the then late IFS office, IFS Mr. Sayyid Shahabuddin, that you give us 3 temples, that is Kashi, Ayodhya and Mathura, and we will not claim any other temple. But they didn't hear. And at the end of the day, we had to go to the Honorable Court and we had to seek justice. Now here, as you played Param Pujya Sar Sanchalak Mohan Baguji's quote, he rightly said, yes, we don't want to look for shivlings in every mosque. But at the same time, look at what is happening. We all know how these Muslim invaders came. They destroyed thousands of temples. We know that most of the mosques standing in this country were temples in the past. But today, Islam came into existence nearly 1450 years back.
No, one second, Mr. Jamhai. Please, allow equal time. I'll come to you, sir.
What is Waqf Board doing?
But Sriraj Nair, you can't.
What is Waqf Board doing?
The fact is, you can't quote the RSS chief in part and say but. If you're going to follow him, then he made it very clear. After Ayodhya, we are not going to look for a temple under every mosque. You've negated exactly what you said. But, having said that, even if you look, because what is really amazing is, each side of the divide likes to quote the Supreme Court judgment in part which it suits them. So let me now flip it around, because we've quoted what the Chief Justice of India, and that's not a written order, that was an oral observation that he made on the Gyan Wapi case where he allowed a survey. Let me flip it and actually tell you what the 5-judge bench wrote in the order copy of Ayodhya. Protecting and securing the fundamental values of the Constitution imposes non-derogable obligation towards enforcing commitment to secularism under the Constitution, non-retrogression, fundamental features of the fundamental constitutional principle, preserves non-retrogression as an essential feature of our secular values. The fact is, you will come and quote one part of the judgment, Mr. Jamai will come and quote the other part of the judgment, but there is a lot that was said and needs to be taken in totality. But having said that, Sumit Chandar, on the other side, the confusion has also come in from the top court of the country. I'll come back to you, sir. Please allow me to bring in our other guests as well. Sumit Chandar, the confusion in interpretation has actually filtered down from the top court of the country.
See, when we talk about the top court, the intention is not to create confusion. See, the end of the day, Supreme Court was only citing the relevant provisions of the Constitution and giving the citizens the very fundamental rights, right to profess and practice a certain religion. Having said that, Supreme Court only made it clear that so far the act is concerned, it has been drafted in whatever manner drafted. It has certain restrictions. It has not clarified certain things. So Supreme Court clarified that, listen, if it is not mentioned in the act may only prevent you from changing the nature and character of the temple, but nothing in the act stops you from doing a survey. And every citizen has a right to do a survey and get to know what was the status of this actual monument which was there much before or 1947. So that survey can be conducted, and that is what the Supreme Court clarified. It is not some confusion that has been created by the Supreme Court.
But Pradeep Bhandari, you do understand the ramifications of that survey. Yes, you can conduct as many. 1 second, sir. Please allow me. I will come to you. Sir, I will come to you.
Muslim organization, suppose that if a Muslim organization wanted to know the nature of the most famous mandir in this country, what is their nature with the non-invasive technology, will the lower courts allow?
Okay.
Will the lower courts allow for ISKCON Mandir or any other Mandir, Somnath Mandir and all?
Can I?
But Pradeep Bhandari, the question that I was actually asking you is,
So,
1 second, Mr. Jamai, I'll need to put your fader down. Please do not interrupt a debate. I will come to you, sir. Hold your peace. I will come to you. Let me go to other panelists. Pradeep Bhandari, getting you back into this debate, the fact is, yes, there is no bar on surveys. But the ramification of these surveys we've seen, you might want to sit here and say that this is not about masjid or mandir, this is not about Hindu and Muslim. I am very sorry, sir. What's playing out on the streets is everything about Hindu, Muslim and masjid and mandir.
Well, Preeti, for that you need to blame the Indian opposition, in particular Shoaib Jamai's party. Just to quote on facts, there are 15 petitions which are filed, out of which only 4 were accepted. So it's not that the court is accepting everything. My simple charge is, if anybody from any religion can go to the court, why not a Vishnu Gupta can go to the court? If his petition did not have a merit, like 7 petitions out of the 15 which were rejected, his petition would have rejected. Now please understand, the Civil Court Order 7 Rule 11 allows the other party to approach the civil court and say that if it's not in the purview of the civil court, they can ask for a rejection of it. They did not even go for a stay of it. So I am just asking, why is the Indian opposition, in particular AIMIM here, politicizing it? Again,
let me ask you.
How does an individual going to a court make a matter a communal matter? A Waqf has claimed so many land. Have you seen people on the streets carrying weapons from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu?
I'll ask you one question. Please? That whole point of writing a historical wrong aside, hand on your heart, you're actually telling me at the back of any of these surveys, we haven't seen communal tension. It's not vitiated the secular, the fabric of our country. You're actually telling me that?
Well, whenever the Indian opposition...
Has it or not, sir?
Whenever the Indian opposition, in particular AIMM, have tried to incite people, it has. Mr.
So you're saying it's all the fault of the opposition,
absolutely,
nothing
Mr.
else?
Rasaduddin Owaisi has gone on to claim when the Ayodhya judgment was passed that I will not give back my masjid.
This is classic politics, but that's fine. Okay, that's... let me bring in the Congress spokesperson there, Swarnim Chaturvedi, I beg your pardon, sir. Would you come in and want to weigh in on this? It's you who are making it bigger than what it is. As per the purview of the law, as per the legal process of the country, the surveys are allowed. You make it, blow it out of proportion, and what we have on our hand is a riot, is the charge leveled by the BJP spokesperson.
Preeti, actually, we believe that what is the point in making any surveys if you can't change the nature of the place of worship? But let me tell you one thing. Since the last Lok Sabha elections, the politics of polarization, Hindu-Muslim, is on rise. And we all know whatever the intentions behind these petitions may be. The fact is, we all know the intentions behind these petitions, that and we all know who gets benefited by such a claims, such a frivolous lawsuits. So what we want to say is, let us live in peace. We are in Rajasthan. We have lived in peace and harmony. Nobody should be allowed to break the social fabric. So these lawsuits are nothing, but they are just the they are filed just to benefit the BJP and their politics of polarization. Okay. We all know that.
All right, so weapons of polarization, you're calling these petitions. Having said that, Sriraj Nair from the VHP, the fact is, one thing the law is very clear on, very, very clear. There might be loopholes to suggest a survey is allowed, but the Places of Worship Act is very clear, which says you cannot change the character or the nature of the religious place. Having said that, what's the use of these surveys, Sriraj Nair, then? Because you can conduct the surveys, whatever the findings might be, you still cannot change the nature of the religious place. So what it really does is vitiates the atmosphere communally, really gets you nothing. It's not that tomorrow you can actually build a temple on top of anything if the survey suggests was a temple. You can't do that.
Well, Preeti ji, I heard the Congress spokesperson here. Now, the whole problem in this country is selective activism. Now, this Congress spokesperson will not have guts to speak about the Waqf board, which is claiming properties after properties, villages after villages, temples after temples, Supreme Court of India, Delhi airport, even the parliament. Does these people have guts to talk about this Waqf board which is claiming a village where Christian population has been staying for centuries? That village has been claimed by this Waqf board. They have selectively, because it is the Christian population which is going to be affected. The Christian MP in Ernakulam has filed an appeal that this should not. But rest all you take it up. This is the problem. Selective activism is the biggest problem. Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb only applies when Hindus are at the receiving end. The problem is and this is a judicial process. Why are we thinking let the law take its own course? Let us not be worried about that.
The question, but Sriraj Nair, you haven't answered my question, and I'll bring in Shoaib Jamai right now. The question is very clear. Shoaib Jamai, one second. Sriraj Nair, the question is very clear. If you cannot change the nature of the religious place, you cannot claim it as a temple, what is the use of these multiple surveys then? Because what we can see, anecdotal evidence on ground suggests nothing but disharmony.
See, this this law was brought by during the
Sriraj Nair first, then I'll go to Mr. Jamai.
Let us wait for the judicial process.
Okay. All right. That judicial process now is in question. Tomorrow the Supreme Court has entertained a plea where the Sambhal Mosque committee is concerned. So a big day tomorrow in this. But okay. Shoaib Jamai, you want to come in because the question is, you might make your all moral reference points pertaining to communal disharmony might be correct. But Shoaib Jamai, the charges which Sriraj Nair made when it comes to the Waqf board, when hypocrisy comes into it, all of those moral reference points stand diluted.
Mr. Mukesh Ambani's house also.
One second, sir. Allow Mr. Jamai to come in now. Shoaib Jamai.
Please let me speak out. Who want to disturb every time? See, the majoritarian attitude of a government is very dangerous, and this precedent is increasing day by day. If you levelize the thing, just compare with the situation in Bangladesh. When the government there, who are in majority in Muslims, targeted ISKCON Mandir or the Hindu devotees there, we always stand by them. We, the Indian media, the Hindu organization, everyone stand with them, raises their voice. The same thing you are doing in India, because you are in majority, Hindu majority, and you are targeting the Muslim shrines, dargahs and mosques, and you expect us to stay calm? You expect us to stay calm? We did not need to speak.
Sir, everyone's getting their time. No point talking over each other. This is not how I'd like to conduct this debate. Let's just go one by one. Mr. Jamai, make your point 30 seconds.
You don't have any moral ground to raise your voice in the Bangladesh situation now, because you are doing the same thing in India against the minority here. You are doing the same thing what Bangladeshi Muslims are doing, or Bangladeshi government doing to the Hindus. You are doing the same thing to the Indian Muslim minority in India. So you have no moral ground to raise your voice against the Bangladeshi government or what they are doing.
But Mr. Jamai, you are being charged with the same hypocrisy then. You are being charged
to raise our voice.
You are also being charged with the same hypocrisy when it comes down to the Waqf board.
There is no major hypocrisy than this. This is the hypocrisy has been exposed. Then answer to this. Why this is hypocrisy?
Okay. All right. I don't think any of my questions are making their way to the panelists, but I'm going to take final comments. Pradeep Bhandari, 20 seconds, and then Swarnim Chaturvedi.
Well, it's unfortunate, Preeti, that Shoaib Jamai tried to incite on your panel. Quote Shoaib Jamai, he says, do you expect us to be quiet? He's inciting the Muslims on your panel that come on the streets. What is he trying to do?
No, he didn't say that.
He didn't say that. Do you expect us to be quiet? What does that mean?
That could mean speak up. No.
I'm verbatim quoting. What does that mean?
Let's not inflame passions there. Let's not
what does that mean?
Okay, you know what?
Is it inciting?
You know what, Pradeep Bhandari? Okay, this is not okay. 1 second. I will get in, Mr. Jamai. Mr. Jamai, what did you mean?
There are 5 dead persons in Sambhal. There are 5 dead persons.
Sir, please answer that one particular question that was raised. I'm giving you the chance. I am giving you the chance to clarify. Pradeep Bhandari has made a comment, an allegation suggesting when you said, do you expect us to be quiet, you're inciting people to take to the streets. Are you doing that? Yes or no, Mr. Jamai?
Of course not. Of course not. We are saying that we have to raise this issue in a proper platform. With the constitution.
That is settled then. That is settled.
Constitution allows us to speak on this.
That is settled. Swarnim Chaturvedi, 20 seconds, sir, make your point. I'm sorry, sir, you can't speak ad nauseam. One by one. Swarnim Chaturvedi, 20 seconds before I wrap up this debate. Go ahead, sir.
Preeti, I just want to say one thing and only one thing, that we believe in constitution, we believe in freedom of religion, we believe in equality. So the central government should act upon, and in a larger interest of the country, they should make, if there is a need of any amendment in the places of religious act, they should make. Let us live in a peace. BJP should leave the politics of
right now it's not so much where the government is
leave.
concerned, because what we've seen in the recent past has all come through the courts, viewers. And tomorrow is again a big day. I thank all our panelists for joining us, because yes, you have the Ajmer Dargah, which finds itself bang in the middle of the Mandir Masjid controversy, but tomorrow is a big day in court, because the Sambhal committee has gone to the top court. The top court has entertained that plea. They will hear it and listen in tomorrow where that plea is concerned, and possibly we'll have some direction, because the last time in Gyanvapi, where the committee of Gyanvapi went to the top courts asking that the survey be stalled, very clear in an oral observation, the then Chief Justice of India had said that even the places of worship law cannot stall a survey. You cannot change the character of the religious place, but it doesn't mean you can't conduct a survey. What will the Supreme Court say tomorrow will have a bearing on Ajmer Dargah, and possibly many more after that. Thank you for our panelists for joining us. Let's quickly shift focus. Today was a big day where Jharkhand was concerned. Hemant Soren took oath as the 14th Chief Minister of Jharkhand and the 4th time himself. Hemant Soren returned as Chief Minister in midst of a massive show of strength. The swearing-in ceremony in Ranchi was attended by several leaders, including Rahul Gandhi, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, Arvind Kejriwal, MK Stalin and Tejasvi Yadav, amongst others. Hemant Soren is expected to decide on who will get what portfolios amongst the India bloc partners. Well, also in Parliament, Priyanka Gandhi took oath as an MP from Wayanad today. She was accompanied by her mother Sonia Gandhi and brother Rahul Gandhi. All three Gandhis now find themselves in Parliament. Welcome back. News break coming in. Eknath Shinde has landed in the national capital. Will be making his way to Amit Shah's residence. And as he's landed, he's dropped a big hint where it comes down to who's going to be the new Maharashtra Chief Minister. Shinde lands in Delhi and says no problem in making Ladka Bhau Chief Minister. Who's he hinting at? Listen in first.
सुनील तटकर यांच्या निवासस्थानी
ते पण बैठकीला येणार आहेत, त्यामुळे ते देखील त्या बैठकीत आहेत आणि त्या अगोदर आल्यामुळे त्यांची पक्षाची बैठक, त्यांच्या पदाधिकाऱ्यांची बैठक झाली असेल.
ओके सर, थँक्यू. आपण पाहू शकतो मुख्यमंत्री एकनाथ शिंदे.
Cutting across to Piyush Mishra, who's at Amit Shah's residence. Piyush, first up, has Eknath Shinde arrived, because the other two alliance partners are already there. Devendra Fadnavis, Ajit Pawar, along with Amit Shah. Also, don't mind making Ladka Bhau as Chief Minister. Who's Ladka Bhau here?
Well, he's trying to give out a message that yes, his schemes have done wonders. Let me also try to show you the live visuals coming in from right in front of the residence of Home Minister Amit Shah. A vehicle has just entered. What we are now learning is that the leaders have just started arriving here at Home Minister Amit Shah's residence. Most likely, Devendra Fadnavis has reached, and then we can expect Ajit Pawar, Eknath Shinde to also reach. Remember that a couple of minutes back, Eknath Shinde landed there at the Delhi airport, and he said that Ladka Bhai now here is in Delhi. Before that, he also said that he yesterday did a press conference and explained everything to the people of Maharashtra. So a message is now being given by Eknath Shinde that Ladka Bhai is here, and remember that Ladli Behna Yojana and Ladka Bhai scheme of Maharashtra government has helped Mahayuti to retain back the power, and various leaders from BJP and NCP have also accepted it. So a message has been given out by Eknath Shinde about the scheme, a popular scheme of his government. He has now landed in Delhi. Any minute from now, he will be here. A vehicle with convoys has entered inside Amit Shah's residence. In a couple of minutes from now, we will also confirm who has just entered. But yes, leaders have now started arriving here at Home Minister Amit Shah's residence, and very soon, crucial meeting will begin, and this place right behind me is going to be the most happening place throughout the night, because this meeting likely to go until late in the night, and by tomorrow, Preeti, we can expect announcement to be made as far as the new CM of Maharashtra is concerned. Remember that as far as this meeting is concerned, before this meeting, hectic parleys have already taken place in Delhi. It started with BJP's National President JP Nadda meeting with PM Narendra Modi there at Parliament. Then it was Ashwini Vaishnav who briefed PM about the entire political situation in Maharashtra. After that, we saw Devendra Fadnavis landing in Delhi and directly going to the residence of Bhupendra Yadav. He was election in charge of BJP in Maharashtra, after which he also met Ajit Pawar at Sunil Tadkare's residence. And all these leaders are now coming here at Home Minister Amit Shah's residence.
Okay.
A couple of minutes back, we also saw BJP's National President JP Nadda.
Piyush, you couldn't be further from the truth where you say that this is going to be the happening place tonight. Well, in Delhi, Thursday nights, right outside Amit Shah's residence, that's where it's all going to happen for Maharashtra, and who's going to lead Maharashtra where the Mahayuti is concerned. Listen in once again to what Eknath Shinde said. Is he hinting at Devendra Fadnavis? Is Devendra Fadnavis Ladka Bhau? Listen in.
प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स घेऊन माझी भूमिका स्पष्ट केलेली आहे की आता कुठलाही अडथळा महायुतीचा मुख्यमंत्री होण्यामध्ये नाहीये. लाडकी बहीण लाडक्या बहिणीच्या बद्दलही माझी बोललोय मी. त्यामुळे लाडका भाऊ दिल्लीत दाखल झालेला आहे आणि लाडका भाऊ ही ओळख
लाडका भाऊ has entered Delhi.
All right, so with that, we're going to let it go. Appreciate all of you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.